That, of course, was Usher Glue. So still, the talk is all about what happened on Super Bowl Sunday. It's interesting because there were opinions all over the board. A lot of people thought that there was they were angry that there was no white representation during the halftime show. It's interesting that you noticed that there were no white people during the halftime show, but you never seem to notice that Trump has no black people in his cabinet. The fact that we're still talking about this tells you how polarizing or interesting this was. We haven't talked about a Super Bowl this long after it was over since the titty came out. Now, I can't tell you, as so many people have tried to do, why they watched. But we know they did. We know they watched in greater numbers than they'd ever watched any halftime show ever. Michael Jackson included, Prince included, Beyonce included. I can't tell you why so many people have tried to do. But if you know how the construct of social media, you know that it is a right-wing media misinformation factory. So if you listen to people on X and Twitter, they would tell you it was the worst Super Bowl ever. You listen to people who claim to be experts in the music industry, and they would tell you we didn't like his set list, and I don't know why he didn't play any hits, and still they listen. If you listen to everybody, oh, it was just a diss song, and still they listen. If you saw all the videos on social media where parents were turning away and acting as if they didn't understand what's going on, still they watched and still they listened. Over 130 some million people watched. As a matter of fact, the performance was more viewed than the Super Bowl. So I guess a Kendrick concert happened and a gang broke out. No matter why they listen, no matter what the people, oh, well, I don't understand why everything got to be a message. How come Lil Wayne? I don't know why they listened. I know they did. And they didn't turn away like they said on social media. And they weren't angry like they were saying in the music realm. And they weren't upset that Lil Wayne wasn't there. They watched in higher numbers than any other halftime performance ever. He's not the greatest performer ever. I don't know that. I do know this. I do know that man met that moment. He did it despite all the protests. People were saying what he should do and what he shouldn't do. What he did was capture the nation's attention. He did it. He kept them there. He said what he wanted to say. He did what he wanted to do. He did it his way, despite what everybody was saying, what he should play, how he should play, what he should do, what he shouldn't do. He stood like an artist should. He did what he wanted to do. And the country and the world saw it. They didn't turn away like everybody was saying. They didn't shut him off. There wasn't protest in the streets. You watched a performer meet his moment and take people where he wanted to go. The great George Carlin once said, what I try to do is to see the line, to drag an audience kicking and screaming across it, and then make them glad they were there. Now, I can't say why they watched. I can't say what was their motivating factor. I can say that they watched them in greater numbers ever. Ever. He did what he wanted to do. He drugged people across that line, kicking and screaming, and over 130 some million people were very glad they came. That's a little note from the GED section. Got the report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.